Hi everyone, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Today I want to talk about Clue, the House of Clue. I received several Clue fragrances as samples from Lucky Scent recently, and I was just blown away by the notes, and I absolutely had to share. I also got a small bottle of a fragrance I've been eyeing for a while. I'll talk about that later, but let's talk first about these Clue fragrances that are absolutely amazing. And I also have two Strangers Parfumarie fragrances that I want to talk about as well. So there are going to be 6 today, and I'm very excited about them. So let's jump right in. The first is called Morel Map Eau de Parfum by the House of Clue. This fragrance references morel mushrooms, and for what it's worth, I'm a huge fan of morels. When I was young, my family and I used to occasionally go into the forest and forage for them. They are incredible. Very, very difficult to find in stores, at least where I am, but if you have the opportunity to try morels, they are delicious and definitely worth getting your hands on. So Morel Map had me intrigued because I'm a huge fan of the fungus, and I wanted to see what it would taste like. I wanted to see what it would smell like. This strikes me as an earthy green sheep. It's very oak mossy. It's got a resin, so I would give this the classic sheep profile. That's going to be a bergamot or a citrus in the top note, and then in the middle, labdanum. In the base notes, it's going to be oak moss. There's possibly a very strong wood in here, kind of anchoring this beyond the oak moss. It's also got a balsamic note. This is a dark green fragrance. If a dark green pine forest had a scent, this would be it. I've also heard notes described as forest floor or, like undergrowth, something like that. If that's a thing, this has got it. But it is not at all funky. It is not at all unpleasant. This is not a challenging fragrance, in my opinion. This is beautiful. I would wear this in a second. It's got tremendous depth and complexity. It's dark. This would be something I'd wear. I don't often say any time of the year, but I'm going to say any time of the year. I guess I wouldn't wear this under the blazing sun if I were out for a run or having a workout. But any other time, absolutely. This is, without a question, full bottle worthy in my book. And this is only the initial smell. Let's see what the notes are. So we've got birch leaf, balsam, fir needles, red currant, Wisconsin wood, violet leaf, violet, galbanum, morel mushrooms, oak moss, dead elm tree, and forest floor. The woods jump out at me. There is a kind of an aged wood note to it that, like I said, anchors the fragrance in the base alongside that oak moss. The balsam, fir needles, absolutely. I would not have picked up on the red currant. But a dark fruit in here is believable. The galbanum, yes. Dead elm tree. I'm stumped on that one. I've never seen that note before. It's whatever it smells like, it is definitely working in here. So usually these kinds of fragrances, one might be inclined to say they're not an easy reach. This is, in fact, among the sheeps that I've tried and love deeply, this is probably among the easiest reaches, if not the easiest reach. It's beautiful. I think this is universally appealing. I think it goes unisex and it's wearable year-round, any time of day. Gorgeous stuff. Morel Map by Clue. Moving on to Warm Bulb. I did not know what to think of Warm Bulb. It's an eau de parfum. These names are tremendous fun and very intriguing. I'm not sure that perfume houses pay enough attention to the names. Some do, but not all of them. The names I see really throw me off, and I won't talk about specifics because I never like to go negative on this channel, but these names are a lot of fun, right? So this is Warm Bulb, and let's see. If warmth had a smell, it would smell like this. Seriously, it smells warm. Like a warm light bulb? Yeah. Yeah. It's got a vanillic undertone, so it's either going to be vanilla, maybe tonka bean. There's a wood in here, a blonde wood that's conducive to the vanilla, maybe a soft white flower in the center. At the top, maybe a spice, maybe a nutmeg or a cinnamon. But this is almost gourmand. It's not sweet, but it's coming real close. Interesting. Let's see what the notes are. Burning dust, hot air, black pepper, immortelle, paper, sparked tobacco, sandalwood, yes, and amber preserved vanilla. Yeah. So I'm definitely getting the sandalwood, the amber preserved vanilla, burning dust, no doubt. Hot air, kind of like the dead elm from Morel Map. Wow, I mean, how does that happen? But it's here. It's somewhat photorealistic to a warm bulb, a warm light bulb. So the burning dust, you definitely get. I can't even begin to think how you capture that in a note, but it's there. Hot air, yes. Air coming from a space heater. If you know that smell, it's not a burned plastic smell, by the way. There's nothing burned rubber or burned plastic or burned synthetic anything in here. This is a very calming smell. I love it. I guess the black pepper is a floral black pepper. It's very faint, but it's there. The sandalwood I definitely get, along with the amber preserved vanilla. That combination of resin and vanilla really pops. Beautiful stuff. Quite surprising. Photorealistic, definitely, but it goes a step further and takes it into a sophisticated, non-sweet gourmand. Interesting stuff. Next, we've got Clue with a Candlestick. Like the game. Definitely what I thought of first when I saw this fragrance name. Again, what a fun name. It evokes memories of childhood. A great comedy made about the board game. So I was just really excited to try this. Let's see how it smells. I'm going to say there's musk in here. And incense. Definitely incense. Church incense. It's smoky. Maybe a little vanilla going on in the background. Definitely some spices, possibly pepper. Yeah, I'm getting a black pepper. There could be a flower in here. I just can't pick up on what it is because the incense and the vanilla and the musk are really blowing me away on this. The smoke is beautiful. I really love a smoky fragrance, and this has plenty of it. Let's see what the notes are. Okay, cherry communion wine. I'm Catholic, and I've never had or heard of cherry communion wine. This is interesting. It sounds great. Cinnamon leaf, sorry. Labdanum, melted wax, burning church incense. Oh yeah. Extinguished candle and hot musk. Yes. These notes do not surprise me, except for the cherry communion wine. That one is, I'm not getting that. I don't get a wine of any kind, much less cherry. Melted wax. I know what melted wax smells like. I really love it, and it would make sense here, but I'm not getting melted wax. Extinguished candle is that smoke that's slightly distinguishable from the incense. There's a smoky element that's more true extinguished flame than the smoky resin associated with church incense. So I get that. And hot musk, sure, it can be hot. Absolutely, why not? This is great. This is so nice. I would say a fall to winter scent, possibly nighttime fragrance. Beautiful stuff. Now we're going to move on to the House of Strangers Parfumarie, and we'll start with Scotch Peat Eau de Parfum. Peat is moss, and I love moss in any form, especially oak moss, which as we know is not a real moss, but I love it. So let's check out Scotch Peat. This is a sheep. I just want to live in this. Wow. If you like Diaghilev by Roja Dove, you're going to love this. It's not a dupe, not at all, but it's got that true sheep DNA. Oh, it is gorgeous. If you are a sheep fan, you're going to do backflips over this. This is so beautiful. You know, Salome, if you were to take out the naughty note, a cumin in there, if you were to take that out, it would lean in the direction of this. If you love Etruscan Water by Francesca Bianchi. So this reminds me of Roja Dove fragrances, as well as Rogue Perfumery fragrances, as well as Francesca Bianchi fragrances, but without the animalic notes. If you like Penhaligon's, the uncompromising Sohan, you'll go nuts for this. This is heavenly. The notes are malted barley, hay absolute, cypress, spruce, labdanum, peat moss, old oak barrel, cade, clearwood, tonka bean, smoke, dried fruits, honey, white chocolate, licorice, leather, orris butter, lavender, absolute, artemisia, cassia, and atlas cedar. What I don't see in here is a citrus on the top, which is interesting. It does not detract at all from the sheep DNA of this fragrance. This is so good. So beautiful. I can't stop smelling it. This is stunning. I'm in love. Feeling like a visceral reaction again to a sheep or oak moss or both. Brace yourself for Scotch Peat. Moving on to Cachouli, also by Strangers Parfumerie, and this is an EDP. I think this is meant to be a combination of something and patchouli. Potentially cacao. Let's give it a try and see. I believe I got a sample of this a while ago, and I don't remember how I felt about it. I do know that I can't find it anymore, which might mean that I wore it and I loved it. Chocolate and banana and patchouli. Bang. I have heard patchouli described on occasion as having a chocolate note. I've never picked up on it before, and this time I am. If there's either chocolate in this and patchouli, or the patchouli has a chocolate accord. The banana's drying down. This is not just any banana. This is a very overripe banana, but this is not sweet. All right, it's got that indolic kind of feel. Maybe a musk in there and a warm wood, not wormwoods, warm wood. Labdanum maybe? Let's see what the notes are. All right, we've got cocoa powder, yes. Patchouli, yes. Tonka, Peru balsam, milk, orange flower, honey, benzoin, amber, mushroom, soil accord. Ooh. Clearwood, cinnamon, nutmeg, dried fruits, gardenia, and labdanum. Okay, I got a few, but this is very complex. But if you like something more, if you want more depth, more character, more of an interesting olfactory experience, this would get you there. I love it. I can't wait to see how it is on the dry down. This is nice. Ooh, I feel like there's a sexiness to it, and I'm not getting the notes in here from the list that scream sexy to me. I'm definitely not getting mushroom or soil. The spices, yes. Dried fruit, yes. Gardenia, I suppose if I try real hard. I could get gardenia out of this. Tonka, definitely. Balsam, yeah. Milk, yeah. Orange flower, no. Honey, no. But the resins, absolutely. Oh, this is nice stuff. Let's check out the dry downs on these fragrances. All right, let's start with Morel Map. This gets more floral. It must be the violet, but it's not the kind of floral I don't like, so I don't care for florals as a rule. But this is really tempered with that oak moss, the wood, and possibly that red currant. I love this. This is exceptional, and I don't have anything that smells like it. I don't remember smelling anything like it. Gorgeous. Moving on to Warm Bulb. This is a toasted vanilla. It's amazing though, because it's vanilla and it's toasty and it's milky like lactonic, but it's not sweet. And it still has that burnt toasty dust at the top. You know who does stuff similar is Hildy Soliani. So this is not a dupe in any way of a Hildy Soliani, but those gourmand accords that are not overly sweet, the way she does that, it's a similar DNA here. But that dust and that heat that you can actually smell sets it off. Now she does some fragrances that contain a heat, but it's a pepper driven heat, not from a black pepper or a pink pepper, but from capsicum, like a jalapeno pepper or a chili pepper heat. She does some of those in a lactonic fragrance. This isn't like that. This is if heat had a smell, like heat coming out of a vent, it would be this, and vanilla. Absolutely beautiful. Moving on to With a Candlestick, also from Clue. The incense, the church incense, is stronger. This is a church incense fragrance. So if you are into that sort of thing, and I absolutely am, this would be right up your alley. This is cooler. It's not as warm as some of the other fragrances, but very much a church experience. It's gorgeous. Moving on now to Scotch Peat. This is so good. This is so good. This is incredible. This is one of the best things I've ever smelled in my life. This is out of the Stranger's Parfumarie house. It's a eau de parfum, and it's exquisite. It is a perfect chypre. I love it, love it, love it. If you like chypre, if you like oak moss, try this. You will not regret it. Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. And finally, we've got Cachouli. It's still a beautiful chocolate patchouli. So nice. The green, the dark green, that foresty green is really popping out. Is there balsam in this? Yes, Peru balsam, that's becoming a bit more prominent. I absolutely love this fragrance. Love it. Now, I've smelled fragrances that are in the same kind of wheelhouse, but this takes that cocoa patchouli to a level I've never experienced before. So this is a bottle that, even though I have a lot of patchoulis, even though I have a lot of balsamic, foresty fragrances, I would still get this. There's a freshness to this, a warm, early fall air just kind of whipping through your hair and catching this fragrance and elevating you. This is the New York Adirondacks in late summer. Beautiful stuff. Consider trying these. As always, I suggest samples. I got these from Lucky Scent, as I said. I'm a huge fan of Lucky Scent. They never let me down. They're amazing. These are exquisite finds. Wow. I absolutely love them, and I think you will too. So give them a try if you get a chance. Okay, so I have one more. And this one I mentioned at the beginning of the video was a full bottle, but it's a small full bottle. Mantes La Jolie, right here. and it is from the house of Astier de Villatte, and it is a 30 ml parfum. This fragrance is reputed to smell like grass and mint. And during this year's warmer months, I have been not completely, but significantly distracted by the need to smell mint. And this has it. So this is cut grass and spearmint. If you were to walk into a florist who had people working busily cutting flowers to put into vases to go out for delivery, this is what it smells like. There's a carnation note here, a rose. This is a floral green. How can I put this? There may even be some tomato leaf accord in here. It's beautiful. Now, I've recently tested quite a few heavy green sharp tomato leaf accords in some different fragrance samples I've had, including a Maison Margiela's from the garden. This is different. This is not the same. You'll have a unique experience with this. Just a quick update on Clue's Morale Map. As this is drying down, this smells like the skin of a man. A gorgeous man in the most sexy, hedonistic way imaginable. This fragrance is exquisite. It does have oak moss in it and some other hallmarks of a sheep. I think that the fir needle on the top note and the birch leaf are substituting for that citrus in a traditional sheep, and this is taking it to just a completely different sheep experience. And I just wanted to add that there is a human skin note that is very pungent. This is not a skin scent, but it's a complex manifestation of this fragrance that is amazing. I would wear this, but I would get this for my husband. I don't think I've ever said that before about a fragrance, because I would want to smell this on him, on his neck. This is very sexy. It's, oh my God, nothing mushroom about this. Let me just say that this is, wow, this is incredible stuff. Check out Clue if you get a chance. Do yourself a favor. Thanks.